Hello everyone and welcome to the first video of Zudlow's Inspiration. Today I'm going to be talking about limiting beliefs and what is a limiting belief. So to get started, a limiting belief is something that you tell yourself that sticks to your mind. So for example, I am ugly, or I'm not good enough, or what other one do I have? I am fat. These are all limiting beliefs that you have about yourself that mess up your mind and just how you're able to do things. And I'm sure you're wondering, like, well, how is that possible? If I just tell myself I'm fat, even though I look fat, how is that like a limiting belief of mine? It's a limiting belief because you are telling yourself either in your mind out loud or as a joke to people, which I'll explain in a minute, that you're fat or you're ugly or you're not good enough to, do point A, point B, whatever, all this kind of stuff. So what it does is it tells your mind, like, oh yeah, you're saying you're ugly. Well, yeah, we're gonna believe that you are ugly and that you're never gonna become pretty. Or you're fat. Yeah, well, that you're gonna have a hard time losing weight then if you really want to lose weight. Or you're not good enough. Well, guess what? You're not gonna be good enough for anything. And it's hard because it's like we think, we say these things like randomly, or we just tell ourselves that and be like, oh yeah, it's like no big deal. Like, I'm fat, I'm ugly, yada yada, right? For example, the other day at work, I forgot what I was talking about with a coworker, and we were talking about something, and I think I said something along the lines of like, oh, well, I'm too stupid to even do that. Well, that right there, even though it's a joke, that it's it's technically like a limiting belief. You're telling yourself you're stupid, so you're not going to understand what's happening, or you're not going to understand, what you're supposed to do. Even though it's a joking situation, you're still telling your mind that you're stupid, And that's what we don't want to do, because when we don't have limiting beliefs about ourselves, or our limiting beliefs change as like, oh yeah, I am good enough, or I'm confident enough to do XYZ, or all this stuff, our lives change. And I could speak firsthand to that, because my biggest limiting belief about myself is that I am not good enough. I was never good enough. In my mind, I told myself, I'm not good enough. I am not good enough to be someone's boyfriend. I am not good enough to be someone's son. I'm not good enough to have a family. I'm not good enough to get promoted at work. I'm not good enough to write a book, because my goal in life is to become an unpublished author. I'm not good enough to start a YouTube channel. I'm not good enough to start streaming video games, all that kind of stuff. And, some people say that like it's this limiting belief and your like belief system about yourself and the world around you starts with your parents and your grandparents and what they taught you and told you as a kid. Now, a lot of that is true, For me, going back and thinking about it, I brought this own limiting belief to myself. For some reason, I always told myself that I was never good enough at anything. And I really sat down one day, took out a journal, and wrote, why do I think that I'm not good enough? And in a sense, nothing came to mind. Like, well, why? Like, what brought me to this point? And it was almost like when I was thinking about it, I made it to where I wanted to play the victim. And I know that sounds weird. Like, I wanted compliments, so I told myself that I wasn't good enough for people to tell me that I was good enough. The thing is, you don't need anyone to tell you you're good enough, or you're pretty, or you're beautiful. The most important thing is that if you know that you are all those things, that you're smart, that you're confident, that you're beautiful, that you're good enough, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter if people dislike you or people tell you otherwise. No, if you believe that if you believe that, hey, like, I'm sexy, I'm beautiful, then guess what? you're sexy, you're beautiful. Doesn't matter if someone says, oh, well, you know, that dress doesn't really look good on you, and yet otherwise you go, well, no, this dress looks fine on me, or these clothes look fine on me, or something. Like that right there, if you believe all of that stuff to where you are confident, you're beautiful, you're good enough, and don't worry about what other people say, you've just, your belief system about yourself is different. It has changed, and that's a good thing. Like I said, I sat down with a journal, and I'm like, what are my limiting beliefs? And the biggest one was that I wasn't good enough. I was never good enough about anything. And again, I'm like, well, how did that come about when, you know, no one really like put that in my head? I put it in my head myself. And I came up with that I did to myself to, you know, to play victim and all that. So I said, well, how do I change this? So what I did is that every morning I would wake up and tell myself that it was going to be a great day. Going to be a great day, regardless of regardless of anything that happened throughout the day. It was a great day. And that I told myself that I was going to be happy and it's going to be a great day. And this day is going to be amazing. The second thing I did was I went into the bathroom and I looked in the mirror and I said, hey, you know what? I love you. You're good enough. You are an amazing person. You're so funny. You know, you have the best blue eyes, and, you know, your hair is so cool and all that. And I complimented myself in the bathroom, looking at myself in the mirror. And, you know, for the first few days, I'm like, oh my God, like this is too hard to do. This is, you know, because again, my limiting belief was, yeah, no, you're none of that stuff. You know, you're ugly, you're fat, you don't belong anywhere. However, as the weeks went on, I realized, like, I woke up one day and I looked at myself and I just smiled and said, you got this. You're amazing. You're confident in yourself. You got this. You know, do you, and people will love you regardless. And it actually works. It changed my mind. It changed my mindset to where, like, no, I am good enough inside. I am the most amazing person out there. Because again, this is your life. No one else is living it but you. So it doesn't matter, you know, yeah, you have friends, you have coworkers and whatnot, you have random people that come and go. Remember that if you work at a retail store or whatnot, you're gonna see someone for 2 to 5 minutes, and that's it. Yeah, they may be a regular, you'll see them again, but they're not coming home with you. They're not watching you, what you do. They're not, breathing down your neck. No, it's all like a one-time thing and then they're gone. You live your own life. And that is another thing that I really needed to tell myself. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone tells me. It doesn't matter their opinion, because some people I don't even know. Secondly, I'm not gonna take to what they say to heart, which again is a limiting belief, that you need that validation from others when all you need is validation from yourself. You really do. So, how to break this whole limiting belief system about you? If you say you're ugly, you're fat, you're not confident, you're not good enough, just one, like I said, get out a journal and really write down where that stems from. Do you hear your parents saying it? Do you hear, friends say it? Do you make jokes about it? Write that down. Then secondly, write down all the negative thought that you get throughout the day, whether that be, stuff about you, stuff about work, stuff about friends. Just write them down, because you're going to analyze it later. And then once you're done with that, really look to see, like, okay, well, what is a limiting belief about me? So again, we'll just say, I'm not good enough. So what can we do to reverse that? Well, like I said, get up every morning and just, be thankful. Tell yourself it's going to be a great day. be grateful and thankful that you're alive and that you're well and that you have a roof over your head, you have running water, you have, new clothes to wear or outfits to wear, you're making money, all that stuff. Because there's a lot of people that are less fortunate. They might not have running water. They might only have the clothes that are on their backs. They might not know where their next meal is coming from. So that is something to be grateful about, because not everyone is the same. And as hard as that is to say, it's true. Like, you should be grateful for the small things that some people might not have. Like, be grateful that you're walking. Some people are in a wheelchair. Some people might not have a leg. So it's rough, but at the same time, it's like, it's the small things that are going to make you more grateful and have you be more positive about yourself. And that positivity will spread to people. And before long, you'll be like me, trying to help others. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be like that. But wake up every morning, be thankful and grateful that you're here, you're on this planet, because you do matter. You are so deserving of everything that you want. Secondly, mirror talk. That is the biggest thing that I would recommend, is mirror talk. I think talking to you, like yourself, and in a mirror, is more powerful than talking to yourself in a room alone. And I'll tell you why. Because you're looking at yourself, you're looking in your eyes, and you're saying all these positive things like, hey, I am good enough. Hey, I love you. Hey, you're an amazing person. You are the most amazing person I know. Like, you're so smart and you have so many clever and brilliant ideas, and you're going to be so successful. You could say it like that, where, you say you or you say I. Doesn't matter which, because you're still, you're still talking to you. Your mind will pick up on that, and it might take a day, it might take a week, might take a few months. It all depends how consistent you are. It all depends on how I don't want to say believable, but how believable you make it to be. Because if you say, hey, I'm great, I'm good enough, but then throughout the day you're like, no, I can't do this, I suck at everything, yada yada, you're gonna fall back to that mindset. But if you wake up every day, you look in the mirror and you say, hey, I'm good enough, I'm more than good enough, I love myself, I got this, today's gonna be a fantastic day. And then you leave your house, and guess what? You're good enough, it's gonna be a fantastic day, you got this. People are in a more positive mood than anything else. So that is, I feel like mirror talk is definitely powerful. And then again, just write down all your thoughts, negative, positive, but really look at the positive, because the negative, because the negative thoughts are going to most likely be your limiting beliefs about yourself. If you think about if you're a constant thinker like I am. But yeah, that's really it. And then just, analyze it, and just, really go and just hammer those out and go, okay, well, how can I change this? And then look in the mirror and go, hey, for example, you say, I have no friends, or I feel like I have no friends. Look in the mirror and just say, hey, listen, I'm a positive person. People love to be around me. People love to be, to talk to me at work and whatnot. And soon enough, things will start happening. Things will really start happening. But yeah, I hope this video helps. Again, this is my official first video on this channel besides the introduction. And I'm excited to do this because, I'm going to add in a lot of experiences that I've had. But I hope this helps. I hope you try it out. Let me know in the comments below how it works for you. Just remember to stick with it. Things can change in a day. Things can change in a week. A few weeks, a month. But if you're very persistent in it and you are just constantly going, you will be an amazing person, because you already are. Even if you don't believe it, you already are. You already are an amazing person. You're an awesome person, and you are going to be so successful. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Remember to be the best you can be, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.